Thank you very much for joining us on the program. A warm welcome to you. South Africa's president has vowed to come down hard on anyone who has attacked foreigners during last week's bout of xenophobic violence in Kwazulu Natal province. The attacks left at least 6 people dead and several others severely injured. So how did it all start? There were first protests against foreigners, and it fast turned into brutal violence with mobs armed with metal rods and machetes breaking into homes of foreigners to chase them away and loot their belongings. Several shops run by foreigners have also been looted, vandalized or set on fire.
C'est exact, Jerry.
Right, hundreds of people were driven from their homes in various cities across the country. These attacks were strongly condemned by the opposition and by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who summoned several African ambassadors to Pretoria on Sunday in order to restore calm in the city's townships.
Dimanche, dans le but de ramener le calme dans les townships de la ville.
Let's now bring in some perspective on the true state of xenophobia in South Africa. Unathi Somwabile Henama is a lecturer at the Department of Tourism Management, Shawani University of Technology. A warm welcome to you, Unathi. First off, I'd like to hear what you make of the current situation, the recent bloodshed for fear of foreigners.
The recent bloodshed in South Africa is quite unfortunate. This is occurring in Durban, nearly 40 days before the trouble in Durban that will be happening in Durban. And this creates a very, very bad image about South Africa as a country because the majority of our tourists come from the African continent. And it's very, very unfortunate, and we expect the law enforcement and intelligence to do their job in finding the perpetrators of all of these hideous acts of crime, which are primitive in nature.
Let me come in here. In 2016, the government moved from the era of the so-called radical opposition to inclusive political dialogue. Do you see a presidential election without an opposition?
All over the world, you always realize that whenever election time is coming, politicians would always like to divide the people by speaking about migrants, where they create fear-mongering around immigration. And this has actually led to a lot of right-wing movements developing all over the world. I think Malema was very, very responsible by saying that xenophobia is something which is very bad because the EFF has got a pan-Africanist agenda, and it was very responsible by the leader of the EFF to speak about that.
Can we say this is a strictly black African problem, Unathi, where light-skinned people are the ones being targeted?
Okay, it is a black and black issue, but I just want to go expansively. I don't like to call it xenophobia. I like to call it opportunistic crime, which then gets given a xenophobia tag, because that is the most closest tag. For example, let me indicate. The flare-up of the violence only occurred after 2 South Africans tried to rob a store in Durban, and then the owner of the store, obviously trying to apply a self-defense, took out a gun and shot and killed one of them. Now, people in the location started attacking foreign-owned shops, which is regrettable. But I think at the base of this, it's not that people from other African countries that are in South Africa are being attacked. It is thugs and people who are opportunistic that go and try and loot from hardworking migrants who come and make life in South Africa. It only occurs when a South African tried to rob a store and the owner of the store tried to apply self-defense. So it does not mean that a foreign-owned shop in South Africa, a person will just go and do something wrong without the owner doing something. So I blame the South Africans who are committing crime for what is happening right now.